Welcome to the Heaping Scoop Podcast, where balance meets lifestyle, the best place to get your mind and body in shape. With your hosts, Andrew Shepard and Bryce Wiggins.
We're back with Vanya and Reza. Last time we talked about bodybuilding and their interest in it. So I think to start us off here, Reza, since he has the mic, he can start. So just give a little bit of a background of yourself, just so people know who you are, and then give it to Vanya.
So yeah, I've been going to the gym now for probably 10 years. And I didn't really consider bodybuilding until Vanya brought it up. Like seriously, I've always been aware of it. But then Vanya was like, because we kind of got into the gym at a point in both of our lives where going to the gym was a good thing. And once Vanya started catching up, he was just like, yo, we should do a show. We should do something competitive. Because you don't really have any kind of organized competition out of high school. Most people don't. And we just kind of were both competitive athletes in high school. And I think it would be a good idea to pursue this endeavor together.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean background in terms of who you are.
Yeah,
not bodybuilding. Yeah.
Nobody knows who you are.
Zero.
That's all I am, dude. That's all I am. I'm nothing without bodybuilding.
The last 3 years is all yours. Dude.
Yeah. I mean,
background of yourself, man.
Background of myself. I am an aspiring Renaissance man, and I try to do a little bit of everything, and I try to get just good enough at everything, so I can just be in the in group of that task, but not so much that I'm I have to dedicate my whole life to it. So I kind of do a bunch of random tasks. I bodybuild to a certain degree.
Mm-hmm.
I play the piano to a certain degree. I game to a certain degree. I kind of do a little bit of everything, and that's the way I like it. Mile wide, inch deep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but who are you, dude?
This is really not.
No, but all right.
Talk about yourself.
I'm gonna talk about myself. To anybody who doesn't know or isn't aware of who I am, my name is Vanya. I'm a local Florida bodybuilder, security guard, also aspiring Renaissance man in some degree. Got into the sport of bodybuilding in the last, I would say, 2 years. Thanks to Reza as well. Like he said previously, we got into this around the same time due to us kind of pushing each other and seeking a competitive aspect to all the hard work and dedication that we've put into ourselves. And yeah, we're here. We're back from the previous episode, which was, I believe, in December of last year.
Yep.
It's July now, and our next bodybuilding show is coming up on July 22nd.
Which means we are in Hell Week now.
Yeah, we are 1 week out. And yeah, we have this bodybuilding show, OCB Natural Kingdom. Hopefully, I don't know when this episode is going to be released, but the results are good. Currently, actually, we're going to be two, hopefully, competitors against each other.
Yeah. He's been fantasizing about how we're both because we're both in different classes, and we're both gonna win our respective classes, and then we gotta clash at the end for a pose down.
Yeah, for the overall.
And yeah, it's gonna be epic.
It's been a dream.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's I guess a background for anybody who's not aware of who we are, what we're about.
Should I say the background, not my background? You said the background.
And so you guys are doing men's classic physique or just regular physique?
Yeah, so we're
doing men's classic.
Yeah, men's classic physique. So
okay.
for anybody who doesn't know, there's 3 classes of bodybuilding typically in organizations. There's various organizations that you compete in. But ours offers the men's physique, which is the dudes who go on stage posing the board shorts. We have the classic physique, which is what Reza and myself are competing in. Your Chris Bumsteads, and then we got the open bodybuilding, which is more so you got the big muscle muscular mass, like
Mass monsters.
mass monsters. I don't know how else
Yeah.
like the big guys.
The
Yeah.
Hulk.
The main difference between like classic physique and open bodybuilding is classic physique takes into like obviously there's symmetry in regular bodybuilding too, but it's just more emphasized like symmetry and overall flow of the physique.
Aesthetic.
Aesthetics, yeah. Whereas like more muscularity is emphasized in open. Muscularity and maximum leanness.
So open is more about how big you are and like not compared to like how symmetric your muscles are gonna look with the rest of your body.
Yeah, just more freaky in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you hear the term mass monster, that's just like the perfect coinage, in my opinion.
Yeah, bodybuilding is
Yeah.
like or classic physiques like just master class.
Yeah. Like the classic physique, they typically compare it to like the golden era of bodybuilding.
Mhm.
So your
Mhm.
the Arnold look, the wide chest, slim
The
waist.
Frank Zane, yeah.
But still right now there's like we're focusing on like legs and leg development, which is nice to see.
I mean, but let's be real, like we're in natural bodybuilding, so it is harder to look freaky unless you're
It
like
is.
Ronnie as like a natural. So
Absolutely.
you don't see any people that you'd like if you like walked in the street, you'd be like, that guy's a freak. A lot of people like look like your day-to-day Joe Schmo, but the main thing with natural bodybuilding is conditioning. You can get to a pretty good level of conditioning naturally. And
Yeah.
that's not going to show through the shirt, but when you get on stage, you can really start to tell when you got a spray tan, when you're in the stage lighting, and all these things come together. It's you can really emphasize that as a natural.
So on to the topic of today now. What do you all think about steroid use in bodybuilding?
Well, okay, my personal opinion. My personal opinion on steroid use is it's commendable, and if you are a professional and you are seeking to reach the highest limits of this sport, inevitably you will have to partake in that lifestyle. And when done properly, when adjusted, when you have doctors who can, take care of your blood work, I feel like you can take a very professional approach to it. But there's a lot of abuse of steroids, and it's illegal in many cases. You can't obtain it without a pharmacy script, essentially
Mhm.
from a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be prescribed to you. But nevertheless, I don't promote it like you shouldn't be using steroids as a regular person, as a regular human being. There's no use for it. There's no practicality behind it. You're putting yourself and your health at risk for a minimal gain, oftentimes of which you won't see a result from. And in many cases, from anecdotal evidence,
A lot of people that are on steroids, this is kind of like a thing. Like, people don't know this. I feel like if a lot of people that take steroids look like shit. Like
it happens.
these are some guys that come up to us. Like I don't know if I told you this story, but at Rockville, this guy came up to me and my friend Marcelo, and he asked us like, "What cycle you running?" What? He's like, he went on to just like give me this whole laundry list of compounds that he's taking.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that's cool, man. But I'm natural. And he looked like shit. I'll be real. Like he did not have any real definition. He just like, I don't know. I guess obviously it gives you an advantage, but you can't just take these drugs and expect to look like some champion,
You still have to put in your work, correct? And you have to have
do
your
have to
diet.
put in the work.
Yeah.
But the problem is right now, today as a trend, is that you have people in general have access to influencers and social media. And think about the whole point of an influencer or a person who creates a business model around fitness or their body. They want to look the best. They want to look like
they have a stake in it.
Yeah, exactly.
And
so
their health is worth it.
And it's worth for them to lie to their customers, to whoever it is. Like, you've seen it. Liver King did it. A bunch of other people have done it. And it's it creates an unrealistic image in regular people's minds as to what is attainable naturally. And when they realize that it's not attainable naturally, they turn to the steroids, and then they're disappointed from the results. And, you know, like oftentimes, you know, people do it when they're super young. Like I've had a number of cases, me and him both, a bunch, like, you know, kids who come up to us and are like,
15-year-old, like 15,
or they were
17
and they were saying
their
yeah.
testosterone hasn't even started to peak yet, and they're already
yeah.
taking these hormone altering drugs, like SARMs, called like SARMs goblins. These kids
Yeah.
coming into the gym and they're just
Yeah.
like, they're not happy with that. They think it's like going to be like an instant gratification thing, which bodybuilding and fitness in general is not
It's
at
not.
all.
It is not at all.
And
No.
they just kind of just like, they're like, why don't I look like this ex celebrity I see on the computer, like on my phone every day? I've been working out for 2 years now. All right, time to, you know, take it up a notch and get serious.
Yeah. And you know, you've barely even been lifting. Like,
you don't even
honestly,
like know how to train.
Yeah,
probably
exactly.
At that point.
You don't know. Yeah,
And
exactly.
you're already like referring to like super physiological substances.
Like,
so
your body, your body definitely needs to completely develop. And, you know, there are cases where, you know, the people need testosterone replacement, or, you know, they have lacking that, but that comes with old age, or, you know, some kind of, you know, things that are out of their control, essentially.
Right.
But there are controllable factors.
what do you think of the kids that take HGH to like grow taller?
I mean,
because we all know that a couple kids that, like, you know, they just like they take
Yeah.
HGH and they want to get tall.
I knew someone that took growth hormone for that reason in middle school. So he started young, and his parents put him on that, and he was shorter. I think he was like 5 foot. Okay. And he looked like he was not growing at all. But when he took it, he grew like, I don't know, like to 5'10", 5'11". So like he grew a lot from taking that. And it was insane. I mean, he grew a lot in his head. His head got pretty long. Mega mind, but it still helped.
I mean, I can't judge people for doing things, honestly. Like, everyone has their reasons, you know, but I mean, like,
I don't know. People would think that it's like probably unethical to like edit your kid's genes, your future kid's genes, to make him an athlete, you know? So how is this like a little bit different?
I mean, as in general, I mean, like why do anything like to encourage like certain growths or behaviors in your children, you know?
Like this kid wants to be an athlete, but you gotta just come to terms that, like, hey buddy,
like,
you're 5'2", you're not going to the NBA.
I mean, but then he takes some HGH and then he's
like 5'10" all of a sudden.
Yeah, I mean, then he's got a better chance. I mean, I don't know,
because the kid doesn't understand what he's taking at that point, and that's like super like harsh on your body.
But it's like, I don't know.
I know it's medical grade,
but
and all that shit.
Yeah, but what if I don't know? What if it's like, okay, like if this kid doesn't grow, like, I don't know, like, it's just like from an ethical point of view, is that right? Is it a risk, or is he gonna live a much less quality of life if he doesn't take the growth hormone? And I think if it gives him a better quality of life, why not?
It's the easy way out.
I mean, it is the easy way out, but shit.
I think I'm kind of with Bryce on this one. Like, you were this height for a reason, you know, and you can do a lot with it, you know.
I mean, yeah, dude, but like, I didn't choose to fucking be this.
You love being 6'1". Don't even lie. You
okay.
love being 6'1".
Yeah, but I don't boast about it. It's just a fact. But it's like, you know, like, I can't. It's not something that's in my control. It's not something that I had power over. It's just I grew to be this tall, and given my family's genetics, I shouldn't have been this tall.
Suffering from success out here, man.
Suffering from it's not that I'm suffering, but it's just like, you know, like, I shouldn't have. Like, in theory, I shouldn't have been this tall.
Yeah, we've gone off track though. I do think that there is some degree of steroid use in even natural bodybuilding too.
I don't know. No,
I think
it's not
some.
natural. Then it's not natural.
Well, it's called natural bodybuilding, but there's people that go under the radar for sure.
I think it's not fair. Once you take a certain thing that
it's not fair. Yeah, for sure.
It changes the way your body produces and reacts to hormones.
Yeah.
So it completely changes it changes the way your body is. So once you break that threshold, you're not.
Yeah, I agree. Anything that hormonally alters you like that.
So you can't compete in natural bodybuilding, in my opinion.
I
I think
agree.
it's I think it's I
I
think
mean, OCB has like what, like a 7-year rule where it's like if you haven't touched those things for
and I
7
don't
years, then
understand
you
that.
like regain your natty card,
Yeah.
which
I respect athletes, especially in bodybuilding, who aren't natural and do take steroids.
yeah, and natural is like
Because
a very vague term because like they have like oh, make sure you refer to WADA's list, and WADA's list literally has what is it like pseudoephedrine on it. So you
Yeah.
can't be taking pseudoephedrine or any kind of ephedrine before
I mean, that's the
performance because
thing.
you're no
Bro,
longer natty. Like,
technically
what?
the
I don't.
NCAA, I'm pretty sure it banned caffeine for their
That's
athletes.
hilarious.
I'm pretty
So like
sure.
these
Like,
lists, they're like made into like bureaucratic limbo. Like you
but
think there's
it's anything that can be considered a performance enhancer. That's it. That's essentially it.
so
Yeah.
that's like
Anything
it
that would
raises the
give
question
you
like what is considered natty, you know?
that statistical edge. But in terms of bodybuilding and natty, I think that's strictly like
Hormonally altering or
altering
kind of modulators.
peptides,
Yeah.
like even fat burners to some degree.
Some people say diuretics too.
Yeah.
I don't even know why you would take a diuretic, dude. That just seems like a bad, like terrible idea.
I mean, yeah,
Like it's just like taking
it's gonna fuck you up.
would you
for
put
sure.
would you put a worm in your stomach to like eat your or like one of those like what is it called, parasites?
You know, if oh yeah, parasites. No, I would not. I was gonna say you have a worm go inside you and eat the fat, and I'm like, if you told me that it ate fat,
It
so
would
there was some people on like higher level bodybuilding that would be like, yo, let me check it out. They want to win. Now, what was that one like Olympic thing where like they said like, would you trade like half of your life for a gold medal? And like most of the Olympians said yes.
That's true.
That's a very like it just kind of gives you the
And they
insight
do,
into a
and
mind
I
of
feel
like
like a lot of
a top
Olympians do
athlete.
sacrifice it. A lot of like, yeah, I mean, that's what it takes. If it takes for you to be the greatest to reach the pinnacle of,
I mean, look at Ronnie Coleman. He gave his life for the sport,
literally,
essentially.
dude. And he will always be remembered.
He's always going to be the GOAT. But goddamn, it is really difficult to see him like that. But he still has pretty high spirits, which is good to see. But
it is good to see.
you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, he's broken, unfortunately.
Broken in a good way. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess on the topic of, WADA and all the bodybuilding testing that goes into it. So do you think that there should be more testing to kind of mitigate steroid use, or do you believe that the bodybuilding, industry is good where it's at right now?
Well, let me tell you about like since ours is technically a natural federation, the
Right.
measures that they take for natural federations, at least for OCB, is that they polygraph everyone before the competition, and
Lie
they
detector test.
yeah,
For those who aren't aware of polygraph.
Yeah.
and they urine test the winners of the classes. So if you did happen to win, you're going to get urine tested, and those are the only measures that it has
Okay.
to combat drug use, which honestly I don't think is enough. I don't think that's even close to enough.
But again,
but it is a Herculean task, you know.
It is. It's expensive. It's expensive to do a lot of
Administer those tests.
Yeah. So and again, a lot of these organizations, I mean, there's not a lot of money in it. Just like to be frank, like, and so
I mean, yeah, you can't really do it in a natural federation as a full-time job.
yeah,
no
an
way.
amateur organization nonetheless. So it's I mean, like that. I guess they're making the best of what they can, but I feel like the polygraph is I mean, just makes no sense. Like people can just lie through that.
Yeah.
It's been proven that polygraphs do not work.
So what about for the unnatural or enhanced competitions?
They have untested federations, the
They
NPC.
do have,
Yeah,
they do have untested federations.
Right.
That
But
is,
do you think there should be some type of testing or a little bit more in that space?
No.
No,
I mean, I if people want to do that, I think they should be able to. If people are adults, they can make their own decisions.
but in my opinion, I think it's that much more empowering if somebody who's natural is able to defeat somebody who's unnatural.
Yeah. People that are like the sleepers, the natty sleepers that are in the
And there's
NPC.
a lot. There's a lot of them. So, and Ronnie Coleman qualified for his first Olympia natural.
Yeah.
So
I don't know how true that is, but I want to believe that's true.
I'm pretty sure
I
that's
want to
true.
believe that's true.
he was natural for a very long time.
Yeah, I know. I
And
know.
And if I gotta verify it.
Yeah, I mean, you know that there's that one picture that's circulating around where it's like, this is Ronnie Coleman when he was natural, and like some people are like, oh my God, and then some people are like, that's BS. Like they couldn't even comprehend it. But I don't know. I think that I like the separation, honestly, and I think that honestly, I think the approach that we're taking is the best. If you can't dominate the natural bodybuilding world, what business do you have going into the enhanced world? You
Yeah.
know, I feel like I'm glad that I'm competing with other people that are like dealing with these kind of restrictions because like I wouldn't want to compete against someone natural at the beginning at least, or someone unnatural at the beginning, you know? Just kind of like show myself like, hey, I have like I'm promising in the sport, and that and if you win these natural shows, then you're probably promising to some degree. You got
Mhm.
like some potential. So then at that point, it would make sense to maybe take it to like a higher level, which these untested federations, particularly the NPC, is. So that's
Right.
my game plan, at least.
Okay. Yeah, here. Let's see. Let me pull it up. Ronnie Coleman.
Yeah, I found so basically it was 1991. Yeah.
Oh, that's the
This
one.
one?
Yeah.
That's the one. That's
Yeah.
the one.
Okay.
Looks natty to me.
It looks natty. Like I can't explain why. It's just like it doesn't have that, you know, that unnatural look.
Yeah.
You
I
can
mean,
tell
there you
that
could-
he's blown up on the other ones. Like if you look up,
in comparison to, or look at Ronnie Coleman 92. Look at 92. Because 91 is that one.
yeah,
Yo.
Yeah.
Yo. Wait.
this right here.
Yeah, come on. Yeah.
Like
Yeah, come on.
you can
He
tell
lost
he's
all his
like,
hair, come on.
he
Yo,
blew
Ronnie
up.
Coleman with hair's a vibe though.
He is a vibe. Damn. And the like the goatee.
Yeah, the goatee with the glass.
Yes.
It's great.
Yeah. It's crazy how like you can see the huge differences just by like taking a little bit. And I'm sure he didn't take, well, maybe he
Yeah,
took
I
a
don't
lot.
think he probably. I mean, he might have.
He might have been a
Yeah.
hyper responder. I don't know, but
He probably didn't even know what the fuck he was thinking.
he's
to
a
be honest.
phenom.
Yeah,
Like he's just an absolute phenomenon of
Yeah.
an athlete. So yeah.
I mean, he was just naturally big, so you can see the
Yeah, he definitely had
progress
that bone
in each
structure.
photo.
Yeah. Me and Vanya come from like he was a fat kid, no offense, and I was like a scrawny kid.
That
So
was okay.
we come from like different backgrounds, but like now we're kind of just like in the same amount level of body fat.
Rez is the hard gainer.
Yeah, I am the hard gainer. You know?
He needed 12 years for Reza to
I've been on a lifetime bulk.
for Vanya to only
I've never
have-
cut in my life.
Yeah, you needed a lifetime to go to
I
the
needed a
gym.
lifetime
Reza,
just to break 200.
yeah, for Vanya to only go for like 3 years and then he's like already there. He's good
Oh,
to
there's
go.
no doubt that Vanya is definitely more genetically gifted than I am. I don't doubt that for a second. Like, yeah, I can get leaner, but dude, the progress you've made in the past 3 years has been crazy, almost like unparalleled to like anyone I've seen online too.
I don't know, man. It's just I don't know. I feel like the formula
Kieran's was pretty crazy too.
the formula is pretty simple in my opinion. Train hard, eat well, and make sure you sleep
Mhm.
and train consistently. Like as long as like I don't know. I feel like I made a very big jump since my last show.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Based on I don't know, just being way more dedicated and taking it seriously. I competed and I definitely was not stage ready.
We were just talking about that right now.
Yeah, but
I'm glad you did it still though, because
absolutely
it did give you like that. You caught the bug that one.
It propelled me. I wanted to prove myself, you know, right or wrong, essentially.
Like you deserve to be there on that stage.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like upgrading your intensity is just taking it to 120%.
You know what's a skill that you're good at that is very slept on? Being a good student. When you first started out, you didn't complain. You didn't like talk about like, oh my, because like most people that I start working out with, they like complain about like, oh, this is so long. This is like hell, this is really hard.
Yeah.
But you, like, right off the bat, it clicked for you. You followed instructions. You didn't complain. You did your job, and that was the kind of promising thing for me when I first went to the gym with you. I was like, yo, he knows how to work. He knows
Yeah.
he knows how to get to those money reps.
You
I like to call it.
Did you think I was gonna like stay consistent?
At first, I don't know. I mean, like, because I've known you for a long time, and I know you like to hop from mindset to mindset. And so I was like, I didn't know if it was going to be something you'd stick with. And I'm really happy you did, because I would have always wondered if you didn't.
Yeah.
So now I don't have to wonder anymore.
Yeah.
I think it goes back to like you falling in love with the sport and wanting to continue to do it. Like you saw your progress from the first show, and I'm about to show it in a second, but
Oh shit.
You
Could have
saw
asked us, we could have got some better pictures.
and you had a chip on your shoulder. And Reza had actually he told me this. He's like, yeah, he definitely has a chip on his shoulder, and he wants to prove himself this time around, which is this Saturday. So okay, let's see this. You're gonna like the
smile on his face, bro. He's got hey, that's a good picture though. That's not a bad picture. Yeah.
The best looking one.
Yeah, that's the best looking one for sure. You
Yeah,
didn't get
so
dirty that much.
you'll see soon like the before and after, and see his progress. And if you follow him on any socials, you'll see that as well. But yeah, so I mean, just looking at this right here,
it's definitely not stage ready.
Definitely.
is just looking at this right here is crazy how where you've started and now where you are right now. So
yeah, I mean, I did
have a Nick Walker transformation picture.
Honestly, yeah, shit.
So what changed? That's what I'm curious about. What changed in the time from December to now?
Eating, getting my diet absolutely on point.
Mhm.
Nah, he wishes. Getting like being more strict on myself, being more disciplined with myself with my training. There are times, where you don't have motivation to go to the gym, and a lot of times you're just
the not sexy days.
Yeah,
that like no one likes to talk about.
You don't feel bonita.
Yeah.
So nutrition and
you feel so good after those days.
Yeah.
Nutrition change, as well as, did you have a trainer at all? Like, did you train with someone?
I did hire a trainer for my prep, essentially my 12-week prep.
Okay.
John Lee, he's an IFBB pro. He's actually competing tonight now
for Vancouver Pro.
Yeah, for his he's trying to qualify for the Olympia stage, which is going to be here in Orlando. And I really do think he's going to win. He's fucking phenomenal. Looks great. So yeah, I hired him. He put me on what he believes is, the proper training method. Don't want to give out too much.
The day Vanya became no longer fun to work out with.
Yeah, so no longer fun to work out.
Yeah, because he was like rigid like a stone. He's like, no man, I can't go off program.
So
coach will get me.
So I essentially like blindly, followed his word. Good. Strict regimented workouts, changed. I mean, I did like push-pull legs essentially. Helped with my posing, which was also a huge
help. You're a much better poser now.
And yeah, basically, was able to, put me on a plan that works with me and my body, and he believes in me and what I want for my development and fitness and myself. So.
And this is all virtual. Like, you contacted him on social media?
Yeah. So I got in touch with him over social media, and it was over a process of a couple of months. Didn't talk to him, and then he hit me up. Talked over the phone, and yeah, he agreed to coach me, and it's been good. I really didn't like. I'm very he's added a lot to my game, more professional aspect.
I did notice you made a big jump after you got a coach.
Yeah, more definitely way more. Like I I want to approach bodybuilding the way he approaches bodybuilding, and I've been trying to emulate his method like to the T, and like it's been working, and I can't say anything against it.
Yeah.
He knows his stuff. He's
So-
got his degree in kinesiology, you know.
So does he give you kind of the same program that he gives himself?
I'm not sure. I mean, he posts some of his workouts, and there is some similarities, at least with the training, diet as well. I mean, I assume like he gave me a peak week protocol. I mean, specific to me, but I assume there's some things that are similarities in terms of like big picture things about like water intake, sodium intake. But yeah, I don't know. It's also just, you know, somebody who I feel accountable. Like I feel a sense of like I have to, you know,
Mhm.
prove myself to my coach. I have a coach.
Right.
And yeah, it's definitely been worth it. Yeah, that's all that I would say that's for prep at least. It took me to the next level. Gave me some guidance because the last time around, I mean, you know, amateur
Shit,
stuff.
we were figuring it out.
Yeah, literally figuring it out, and you know, I kind of had an image, but I feel like I needed that extra like guidance.
What's something you
Yeah.
look back on your last prep that you cringe at now?
Man, so much. I was just way too easy on myself.
Eating pastries.
I don't think I ate pastries, but it was just like I'd have a cheat meal, you know, I'd be like, oh, I had a hard day at work. Let me like this or that. And like, yeah, just not taking it as serious as I should have. Or, you know, like, I feel like, yeah, like like bodybuilding is a serious thing. If you want to be the best version of yourself, you have to, you know, do your best. And I definitely was
Right.
not doing my best then. And now I literally like, regardless of the results of the competition, I'm like more than satisfied with what I put in. More than satisfied with the process. I've surpassed my goal weight. I've, you know, proved myself wrong in many ways.
Mhm.
And you know, I'm just ready to get on stage and you know, fucking pose down with this guy.
You're gonna shock the judges that probably you saw. You're gonna see the same judges you saw at the last
I
show,
hope so.
and they're gonna be like, "Holy shit!"
They slept.
You were very slept on, bro. You were
on.
well, not by your friends, but by the people
Yeah.
that like just were just seeing you for the first time. Like, I could tell the judges didn't think you were much.
Definitely not.
They're like, what's this guy doing? But now it's like, fuck, this guy's a threat.
Hey, it's gonna be good. I'm excited for you though, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
This is gonna be a redemption for you.
yeah. After the last show, I tried something.
So
I
yeah,
did a lot of mental gymnastics my last show, just so because I wanted to see if I came in with a little bit more size.
The audience doesn't know. So Reza did a show this past May,
Yeah,
in Daytona Beach. But yeah, you can go ahead. And
yeah. I did a show in Daytona Beach, the OCB checkered flag, and I kind of treated it as like a practice show just to see how like what's the level of conditioning that I could get away with, because I obviously want to come in as big as possible, but when you diet down and get leaner and leaner, you obviously lose a little bit of muscle here and there. You know, it's inevitable, and it gives the illusion that you look more muscular because your skin's tighter on you, but you weigh significantly less, you feel weaker. And I wanted to see if I could get away with like having a little bit more size, but don't come in as conditions. And the judges instantly knew. And so when I kind of just realized like, yeah, just get stage ready or don't bother showing up, you know?
Yeah.
It's I think it might have been an extension of laziness on my part that I'm trying to say it's experimentation, but who knows?
In my humble opinion, I think Reza should have placed higher. If not, he was capable of winning that show. But that's just my opinion.
I mean,
In all fairness, you know, it is what it is. The judges saw what they saw.
The judges saw what they saw, exactly. You know, they made their rulings for a reason, and we got to respect them.
But you're ready now.
Yeah, I mean, I took a little break from social media, so I'm sure even Vanya's probably wondering, like,
Yeah, you
where-
haven't been responding to my memes.
I don't know. I feel like the last show I got in a very comparative headspace, as like you naturally do in like bodybuilding.
Yeah.
But I think you need to treat it like you treat like every other sport. You shouldn't be going against other people. You should be going against yourself. And when I say that, that doesn't mean to take it easy on yourself, but in fact, you should be harder on yourself because you have to literally beat your best self, and that is no easy task to do every time. It's a Herculean task that continues goes on and on and on.
Mhm.
And I felt like the last show I was really just like looking at other people's social media, be like, oh, I got better arms than him. Oh, I got better legs than him. And then that kind of made me a little complacent. And so I just kind of didn't really go as hard or as hungry as I needed to be. So I'm
Yeah.
definitely doing the opposite of that this time. I'll
Yeah,
leave
I
it.
think when you have like a comparative mindset, or like you're always looking at other people and you're like, well, I need to be doing this, that, and the other thing, but at the same time you need to focus on what you're trying to achieve, because it kind of mixes up what you actually want to focus on in the long term. So it's the same thing, or close to what Vanya went through, where he didn't have that accountability. He had you, Reza, but at the same time, he needed more accountability to actually be strict with what he was doing and what he wanted to show for the next time.
So I guess the final question I have for both of y'all here. So when you compare the journey between your beginning to the first show and in between the first show to the second show, what would you say? What are some like changes that you made in terms of like your mindset and your principles, and like how can people apply those changes to their general life? Because I've seen Vanya's transformation between the first and second show on TikTok, and you look like a monster now.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Honestly, I will say for like one thing that is applicable from bodybuilding that I've changed is that the little things add up. Like those
Yeah.
like little you have a little grape here and there or a little pistachio there and there. I don't know. I mean, like for a normal healthy person, you should be having these things. But for our purposes, you can't be just having like, like be snacking on these little things on the side. It adds up. And I didn't really take that into account as much in the first show because I'd never been that shredded before, and I was like, wow, this feels great. I'm shredded enough, but no, the little stuff add up, and you should take that into account for sure.
No zinger mountain melts.
No
I've been. Oh
zinger
my
mountain
god, I
melts.
wanted Zinger Mountain also, man. But like I've actually like done a lot of introspection and thinking during this prep. Um, spending a lot of time alone, but doing a lot of thinking. Just like I've resonated with these certain like principles, I guess. It's like, and one of them, I guess, these last couple of weeks is that anything that you do and that you truly want to apply to yourself to, you have to, it has to be, you have to set a goal for yourself, regardless of what it is. Like the smallest goal, it just, you have to be doing something with purpose if you want to like fully achieve that. You can't, there is no 50%, there's no 75%, there's only 100%. It's either
It's like small goals, like just like literally just
literally anything. I mean, it's just like
I want to not binge eat.
like
these next 3 days.
apply you apply it to anything. You apply it to cleaning your room. It's like, oh, like you have the option to, clean your room a little bit, but it's like you could decide to actually clean your entire room, and you're gonna feel a lot better once you clean your entire room. And like the results are gonna be much better for you, right? Apply that to, I don't know, the workplace, like if you're gonna be working, it's like committing to the bit, right? If you commit to the bit, it becomes better. The bit becomes whole. It becomes enforced. Like if you're doing like if all right, let's say two actors are role playing or doing improv, right? You have to commit to the bit in order to make it work. You have to 100% commit to what you're trying to play out.
If you just kind of just half-ass, it just looks weird. It looks bad.
It doesn't look bad, and you're not going to be satisfied with the result. You're gonna feel like a failure. It's like it's like Tom Platz. It's like you have, it's like achieving fail. I don't know. It's not really
failure. Yeah.
It is achieving failure, but it's
a different thing.
It's a different.
One thing I will say, Vanya, though, is that I feel like once you kind of like made that goal, because I feel like before you never really admitted that you wanted to make a living out of your body, essentially. And I feel like once you started admitting that to yourself, a lot of other things just started falling into place, and things just started going a lot smoother for you. You started taking measures that you wouldn't have otherwise take because like now you've verbalized it, you've spoken your truth to the world, and I gotta imagine that felt pretty good.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. Like it's yeah. I guess I committed to the bit.
You committed to the bit.
It's just accepting certain things. I mean, like it's in general. I mean, if and people who, are just getting into fitness or want to set certain goals for themselves and their body and changing the way they look, set a goal. Be like, I want to lose a certain amount of pounds. Be real with what it has to, with what it takes, and have, force yourself to have the discipline. No one's going to baby you to do it. No one's going to, and the thing is like anything in life is going to take effort in order for it to be worth it, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to get too philosophical, but there was one, I don't know who said it, but that everything kind of just starts off as a thought. Like, for example, you go to the gym because you thought you weren't good enough in some respect. And then once you realize that, like, everything that you see around you has started with a thought, you have to be really careful what you think about. And like, you can't just think like wildly, like turned off filterlessly. You got to be careful with what you think about. Like, if you start to tell yourself enough that like the gym is not my thing, not gonna do it, it's just like not for me,
Mm-hmm.
your body will start to react in a way that's congruent with that. Like, you're gonna just start deciding that, hey, maybe nutrition is not my thing either. I'm just gonna eat like a normal person, whatever that means. And I think like if a lot of people just kind of try to watch their thoughts a little bit more, they could live a life that they're a lot happier with than they are now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The subconscious plays an important role in your life. You have to say positive things and think
Absolutely.
positive things. Like,
Your brain doesn't know it's a joke. You
Yeah.
got all these self-depreciation jokes.
yeah,
It's like, oh, fuck myself, I'm such an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
like
like your brain takes note of that. It's like it doesn't
It's-
forget, and it doesn't
it's gonna
know
it's
sarcasm.
gonna
It's
it's store it in the back there.
Yeah, that's the thing. Your brain can go on automatic, right? With the negatives, you can just be like, it's a lot easier for you to be like, oh, I'm this and that, and try to like victimize yourself, right? Like, instead of forcing yourself to be like, no, I'm not going to accept those thoughts. I'm going to do something to give myself better thoughts, or change.
I'm gonna take responsibility.
Yeah, or exactly. I'm going to take responsibility. I'm going to realize and that's the thing. Especially during this prep, I'd have, that doubt and that like, oh, like, why am I doing this? Thinking about it. And I think about, why am I feeling this way, and what do I have to change for me to not like think this way? Like what do I have to do today? What do I have to do in this moment for me to not feel this way anymore?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I have to reach this certain goal. Oh, I have to do this that I told myself I was going to do, and I'm not doing it right now. But guess what? Once you do it, immediately it's like it switches.
Chris Bumstead still gets nervous every Olympia. Like, he blows out of the park, and he's like super open about like how he's like he gets nervous, and he feels like he's like not good enough in some respects. But then he always puts in the work. That it's kind of inspiring, like that someone even at the highest level probably gets butterflies in their stomach before they go on stage. It's not just another day in the office for anyone, essentially.
Yeah, life is going to be a battle, and it oftentimes it's a battle with yourself. And that's the thing. We all live 95% of the time in our own head, right? We're not having conversations with other people. We're not vocalizing the way we think or what we feel or how we react to certain things. We just internalize it and we think about it, and we basically validate our own thoughts in that. And oftentimes those are those negative thoughts. And that's something that you have to actively like think about. You have to think about, what's around you, what's making you be this way. And if it's yourself, do what needs to be done. Be real.
Be real with yourself. That's
Be real.
That's real important.
Like, really be real.
A lot of people like, okay, don't be honest with other people, but at least be honest with yourself.
Be honest with yourself.
That's the only person you really have to be honest with. Otherwise, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
You don't even know yourself. How can you expect other people to know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think the quote you were looking for, or who said it, was Earl Nightingale. He's a philosopher as well, and he has a bunch of books. But we become what we think about, which is essentially this whole idea of like all our thoughts is what we become. So
As a man thinketh.
Yeah,
There's a book. There's a short. A short book.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's exactly how it is. It's very applicable. As simple as it sounds, as very like cliche.
every like bodybuilder or people like even on like the Olympia stage, at one point they envisioned their body was like that. They decided they wanted to look a certain way. Like it's like literally like in their head they're creating their avatar, and he looks like a fucking beast. And they decided I'm gonna take every measure possible to become a fucking beast. And yeah, I think that meant you don't necessarily have to adopt the mentality to that extreme, but like the girls are onto something when they talk about manifestation. Manifestation is fucking real. Like you can manifest things in your life because it's the same thing as like a thought. You are what you think, you know.
You are what you think.
But
But within reason. Yeah, within reason.
Yeah.
Right. There's a difference between wanting and manifesting and working
Taking
and
the
working
measures,
working
taking
towards
the
that
measures.
manifestation. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Mm-hmm.
What would make this interview worthwhile for you so people can leave here today knowing that they've learned something new? So what would make this interview fulfilling for yourself as well for people to learn?
I feel like it's been fulfilling already in itself with the information that
I've enjoyed the conversations. I've kind of reinforced things that I should tell myself more. Like, because you always like tell yourself all these good things you have to do. You don't do them all, you know.
But vocalizing and
Vocalizing
talking
like,
about it with somebody,
kind of like a reminder to like, hey, you know,
this is what I'm doing.
How close am I living to my word? You know?
Yeah, exactly. It's making like because again, right now it's for me it's peak week. I've been in a very like low sedentary state.
You need a coffee.
But this has been a very positive conversation, kind of reinforced, this whole process that I've been through, and I'm thinking about it. It's like, yeah, I'm exactly where I am because I want to be, and I got myself here, and I'm happy for it. Everyone else can do the same. We're all gonna make it.
Yeah, we're all gonna make it, but it's like at the same time, it's like you look at someone and be like, why not me? Why not me?
Why not me?
Yeah, what is holding me back?
What sets this person, human being, apart from me?
Steroids.
We're all the same. We're all flesh and bone, and we all are capable. We're all capable of shaping our destinies and what we want.
So final question. Should we take steroids?
No.
Okay.
No. No, definitely not.
Good answer.
We keep it wholesome.
Yeah.
The eating scoop.
We're all natty here.
Yeah, we'll see about that come competition time.
Hey, whenever you want to record session 3, you can ask us that question again.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll always be honest on the heaping.
Might be having to move to a non-tested organization.
Just to show what you can do as the damage you can do as
the damage is to do as a natural. Honestly,
I think that's a baller fucking move.
Might be the move, dude. Take a year.
We gotta beat OCB first. That's true. We gotta level up.
We gotta cement ourselves.
Yep, exactly.
Reza and Vanya, thank you for taking your time out of your busy schedule with everything coming up soon for taking this interview with us today. And we will have you on again in the future when your next show comes around, and hopefully y'all are still natural then.
Absolutely, bro.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having us on.
It was a pleasure, man. Thank you.